you guys see that I'm in a different room, and that is because I am at my grandparents' house today. And my mom is with me, so my mom is with me, and I'm at my grandparents' house. And I'm actually at my grandparents' house. I'm in my bedroom, and I'm in Delaware. I'm in Delaware. So we go on vacation, and there's also some beaches. And it was like a 3.5 hour drive here to see my grandparents. And my grandparents actually recently got a new puppy, and their name is Tank. So I just wanted to share that with you. And today we're going to be reading, if you guys saw our last video and you wanted to see what happened in chapter 3 of our Magic Treehouse book. So let's see what is going to happen. Let's go back to where we left off. So I'm going to go back where we left off. We left off on this page. Where is here? And it's where the chapter is called. So we're going to read 2 chapters like we did last week. And to make sure before we start writing, I'll give you to subscribe. I'll give you 5 seconds to subscribe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you subscribed, thank you. You love this book. So we left off where, if you guys check out our last video where I read it that. So, okay, so let's start the chapter. Chapter 3, where is here? Jack opened his eyes. Sunlight slant through the window. The treehouse, still high up in the tree, but it was the same tree. Where are we? Said Annie. She and Jack looked out the window. I don't know how to pronounce it, was soaring through the sky. The ground was covered with ferns and tall grass. There was a winding stream, a sloping hill, and volcanoes in the distance. I don't know where we are, said Jack. Next page. I don't know what it says though. Glided down the base of the tree and landed on the ground and stood very still. So what just happened to us? Said Annie. Well, said Jack, I was looking at the picture of the book, and you said, wow. I wish we could go at the time of the, I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry guys, I don't want to pronounce some of these words, said Annie. Yeah, and then we should, I don't want to pronounce it. Fine, I'll tell you what it's spelled. P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-N. So you guys know how it's spelled. I have to spell it out. In the Frog Creek Woods, said Jack. Yeah, and then the wind got loud and the treehouse started spinning, said Annie. Then we landed here, said Jack. And we landed here, said Annie. So that means, said Jack. So that means what, said Annie. I don't know, said Jack. But he shook his head. None of this can be real. Annie looked out the window again, but he's real. And he said, he's very real. Jack looked out the window and with her again. The P-E-R-N-A-N-O-D-O-N was standing at the base of the tree with a guard. His giant wings were spread out on either side of him. "Hi," Annie shouted. "Shh," said Jack. "We're not supposed to be here." "But where is here?" said Annie. "I don't know," said Jack. "Hi, who are you?" Annie called to him. P-R-P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-N. The creature just looked up at her. "Are you nuts? He can't talk." "He can't talk," said Jack. "But maybe the book could tell us." Jack looked down at the book. He read the words under the picture. This flying reptile lived in the period. It vanished 16 million years ago with the dinosaurs. Okay. Here's the picture of the treehouse again. "That's impossible," said Jack. We have gone to 6 times 65 million years ago. Jack, said Annie. "He's nice." "Nice," said Jack. "Yeah, I can tell," said Annie. "Let's go down to him." "Go down," said Jack. And he started down the rope ladder. "Hi, come back," said Jack. But Annie kept going. "Annie, wait," Jack called. Annie dropped to the ground. She stepped boldly up to the innocent creature. We're going to read another chapter. Chapter 4, Henry. Jack gasped as Annie reached out at her hand toward the P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-N. "Oh no," he thought. Annie was always trying to make friends with animals, but this is going too far. "Don't get too close to him, Annie," Jack shouted. Annie touched the P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-N crest. She stroked his neck. She was talking to him. What in the world is she saying? Jack wondered. He took a deep breath. Okay, he would go down. He would go down too. It would be a good to examine P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-N. He could take notes like a scientist. Jack started down the rope ladder. When he reached the ground, he was only a few feet away from the creature. The P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-N stared at Jack. His eyes were bright and alert. "He's soft, Jack," said Annie. "He feels like Henry." Jack shouted. "He's not a dog, Annie." "Feel him, Jack," said Annie. Jack didn't move. "I don't think Jack just do it," Annie said. Jack stepped forward. He reached out very gently. I don't know, but it's spelled consistently. He brushed his hand down the creature's neck. Interesting, Jack thought. A thin layer of the fuzz covered the P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-N skin. "Soft, huh?" said Annie. Jack reached into his backpack and pulled out a pencil and notebook and wrote, "Fuzzy skin." "What are you doing?" said Annie. "Taking notes," said Jack. "We're probably the first people in the whole world to ever see a real life P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-D-O-N. Jack looked at the P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-N again. The bony crest at the top of his head was longer than Jack's arm. "I wonder how smart he is," said Jack. "Very smart," said Annie. "Don't count it," said Jack. "His brain probably is no bigger than a bean." "No, he's very smart. I can feel it," said Annie. "I'm going to call him Henry." Jack wrote in his notebook, "Small brain." Jack looked at the creature again. "Maybe he's a minute." No, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but I think it's a minute. He said the P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-N titled his head. Annie laughed. "He's not a minute, Jack." "Well, what is he doing there then? Where is his place?" said Jack. Annie leaned close to the P-T-E-R-A-N-O-D-O-N. "Do you know where we are, Henry?" she asked softly. The creature fixed his eyes on Annie. His long jaws were opening and closing like a giant pair of scissors. "Are you trying to talk to me, Henry?" asked Annie. "Forget it, Annie." Jack wrote in his notebook, "Mouth with scissors." "Did we come to the time ago, Henry?" asked Annie. "Is this place a place from long ago?" Suddenly Annie gasped, "Jack!" Jack looked up, and he was pointing toward the hill. On top stood a huge dinosaur. Okay, you'll have to see what happens. The next chapter is chapter 5, Gold in the Grass. We will read this chapter in the next video. We read 2 full chapters. So, hopefully you stay and follow along with our next video. So if you like Magic Treehouse, this is a great book for you. And we will see what happens when they see the dinosaur in the hill. So that's kind of a cliffhanger, but we'll have to see what happens. And make sure you subscribe. I'll give you 5 seconds to subscribe again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that if you didn't subscribe, then oh well. I know that's kind of rude, but that's not. Make sure you smash the subscribe button, turn the notification bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. And tell us in the comments what you think is going to happen in the next chapter. We will continue. Yep, chapter 3 and 4. Stay tuned for the next video, and I will probably be at my grandparents' for a few days. But if you want to see my trip, maybe I'll record some different videos instead of reading this book. But we will get back to this book someday. And I will be, so bye everybody. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye. Peace.